Hi there, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is Disney Fan in Japan, and it's been more than a month since my last video. Quite a few things have been happening since then. In the last week of April until the first week of March, Japan goes on a national holiday break called Golden Week. In a country that doesn't really have that many holiday seasons, Golden Week is like number one. And it's actually a handful of like singular holidays that come together closely within a week and therefore makes it seem like it's a week-long vacation. But more often than not, it doesn't end up being a week-long vacation because those singular holidays fall around weekends, and so you have a gap in the middle of the break, and that ends up being working days. So in actuality, Golden Week is more like two mini holiday seasons with a couple of working days in the middle. Until this year. This year is actually quite special because the way that the singular holidays line up makes it so that it turns out to be a week, an actual week of long vacation days. It started on the Saturday of April 27th and lasted all the way until the Monday of May 6th. Basically meaning that the whole country was on break for 10 consecutive days. And this was mind-blowing for so many people because Japan normally doesn't have that many or that long of a national holiday break. And to have a national holiday season this long was so historical that it was making the news, and it was making the front page of a bunch of media sites. Plane travel to different countries around the world was rising like a third than usual. Japan was taking advantage of this very long break. And I was taking similar advantage of it by basically making almost every effort to not adult. I was just chillin' and maxin' and relaxin' all cool. Even though I had a 10-day spring vacation, I actually didn't go anywhere because I really wanted to avoid the crowds. Normally, I'm the kind of person to travel during that time, like to take full advantage of vacation, and I especially didn't want to go to Tokyo Disney Resort during that time because that is when everybody in the country's on break, so everybody's going to Tokyo Disney Resort, and it's going to be madness. But recently I've been spending more time with friends in the area and we've been hanging out more often. We were more really into that kind of low-key activity, and I was enjoying the heck out of my super Golden Week. It was so good. And then the break ended, and of course I caught a cold. My vacation was wrapping up. It was around the end of the first week of May, and I felt my throat getting a little scratchy, and normally I would be more in tune with that because usually that is like the first sign that I'm going to get hit with something. And I should have paid attention more, but I thought it was just something passing because the seasons are changing. I just passed it off as like allergies because I was having really bad allergies this year for some reason. And so I thought, okay, this funny throat thing is not going to be a big deal. I'm just going to sleep it off. The next day I wake up and I get a cold. Of course it's a cold, and I should have realized that because it's almost like clockwork. Every time the season changes in Japan, I catch a cold. And it's a pretty bad cold. So I had to ride it for a week. I was coughing, I was sneezing. It was not a fun week. I'm really happy that I didn't get sick when I was on vacation, but that meant I got sick on the day I had to go back to work. And that was really bad timing. So I was under the weather for about 5 days. And then around day 6, I lost my voice. So I couldn't talk for about a week. So 2 weeks of spring vacation and then a week of a cold and then another week of not being able to talk meant that there was no video for a while. And then sometime around the middle of May, I didn't have a cold anymore. I was able to talk again. Things were settling down at work, and I thought I could probably go to Tokyo Disney. And that's what I did. I took some time off work and just took a day trip to Tokyo Disney Resort. And this is leading into the point of this video. Being able to go to Tokyo Disney Sea created the opportunity for me to experience shopping on the Tokyo Disney Resort app for the first time. Now maybe you're wondering, why is that such a big deal? America has a Shop Disney Parks app, so it shouldn't be that different. It seems to be different because there are certain conditions that need to be met to use the app, specifically the shopping part of the app. For one, you need to have a park ticket. There is some mad exclusivity for using this app, let alone the fact that it is only available in Japan and it is only in the Japanese language. Now on this channel, I like to share about experiences that are unique to Japan, and this app, or rather shopping on the Tokyo Disney Resort app, was definitely a very unique experience. So in this video, I will be sharing my first time experience about shopping on the Tokyo Disney Resort app. Some background information about the app first. It's a fairly new app. It came out around summer of last year, and it's supposed to function like an all-in-one resort app, like it's your one-stop app for everything if you're going to Tokyo Disney Park. In that way, the concept is quite similar to the Parks app in America, where you can make out your day plan at the park, you can check out standby times in real time for attractions, check out show times, make restaurant reservations, etc. Next to checking for standby times, I was mostly using it for shopping, so I will be focusing on that aspect of the app. The shopping portion of it has a similar concept to the American Disney Parks app, in which you're able to use the app to purchase Disney Parks merchandise. Now, while the concept is similar, it's actually quite different because of the many conditions that are set in order to use the app. So let's talk about the similarities first. Like the US app, you're able to see a list of all the merchandise that is available at the park. And within each merchandise item, you will see two different kinds of stock. One is for the online stock, which is coinciding with the app, and the other is the park stock. I find it really interesting that they separate their stock in this way. Like, there is a set inventory for online orders, and then there's an entirely different inventory for parks stock. And because this app has a GPS function, you're able to find out which store near you carries that item. And if this particular item can be found in both parks, they will show that as well. And that also includes hotel shops that would carry that merchandise. Then, of course, you have the barcode scanner, where you're able to use your camera function to scan the barcode, so you're able to enlist that item to be put on either a wish list or to be put in a cart for your online purchase. Now, in terms of similarities, I think that's just about as far as it goes. Let's talk about the differences, and I believe there are more differences than there are similarities. First being, as I mentioned before, it is only available in Japanese. On top of that, online purchases can only be delivered to a domestic Japanese address. Another condition that is required to use this app is you need a Tokyo Disney Resort account. What that means is you have to have registered an account on the Tokyo Disney Resort website, because that is how they will gather information, especially in terms of a shipping address. If you do not have a park ticket, you basically cannot go further than putting your items on a wish list. It doesn't allow you to input payment for your purchase. Instead, you'll get a screen prompt that'll ask for your account details and your park ticket. The third condition necessary for shopping on this app: you can only make purchases on the day of your park visit. What that means is you can only make a payment from the time you enter the Disney park. Until that time, all you can really do is put items on a wish list or put it in a cart, but you can't continue any further than that. That is, you won't be able to finalize payment for your purchases. So it is those three conditions that need to be met before you can finalize your shopping needs on the app. You need a Tokyo Disney Resort account, you need to have purchased a park ticket, and you need to have had entered the park. Let's go back to talking about the two different categories of stock. As I mentioned before, there is an online stock and there is a park stock. Now the thing is, as long as there is online stock, you're able to put the item in your cart and purchase it through the app. However, if there is no online stock, that is, you see an X marked in the online stock section, you cannot purchase that via the app. But if there is a circle indicated in the park section, you can still get that item, only you have to go to the parks to pick it up. I find it a little bit strange because then it kind of defeats the purpose of an online app, right? But at the same time, you need to be in the parks in order to actually make a purchase on the app. So in a very strange way, park stock trumps online stock because of that. On top of that, there is a time limit put on shopping on the app. The deadline for placing your shopping order is 11:30 at night on the day of your park visit. So you basically have until 11:30 at night to go shopping on the app. After that, you won't be able to place an order via the app. So maybe you're probably wondering, with all these conditions, is it worth using the app? It seems like a lot of trouble, right? Well, on one hand, that is true. On the other hand, it does offer a form of convenience and, very recently, privilege to be able to go shopping on this app. The benefits of using this online app is really more for convenience than anything. Let's say there's something you find in the parks, but it's quite bulky or heavy to carry around, and maybe it's a bit of a hassle to take home. Well, if you order the item through the app, they'll be able to deliver it to your home, so you wouldn't have to bear the burden of carrying it around the parks or carrying it all the way home. Another benefit to shopping on the app is, let's say you left the parks. You're still able to purchase that item because the shopping deadline is at 11:30. So you still have about an hour and a half to shop until you drop, essentially. Or on the same note, you saw something at the parks, but you really weren't too sure about buying it at that time, but you've been thinking about it on and off during your day, and then you kind of forgot about it until you left the park, and then you decide, oh, I actually want it. And well, you still have the chance to purchase it because, again, shopping is open until 11:30. So those are basically the main merits as to why you should shop using the app. Now, I also mentioned that there is a sort of privilege in using the shopping app, and that is because very recently they released an item that is exclusive to the app, as in you can only get this item by purchasing it through the app. You weren't able to purchase these items in the parks at all, not in the hotels, not in the parks, only through the app. And those two exclusive items were the Pocket Usatama and the Pocket Usapio. And I got the Pocket Usapio, and I cannot wait to share with you what that is all about in my next video, so please keep a lookout for that one. It is actually part of the haul of my Tokyo Disney Sea trip. I basically have two hauls. One is from online shopping and the other is from my carry home haul. To wrap up this video, I want to show you the box that my shopping haul came in. It is worth sharing because Japan does packaging like no other, and it's Tokyo Disney, which is another level on its own, and you'll see what I mean when I show you. Here is my Tokyo Disney box, which I propped on a chair so I can get a better recording angle, and it is massive. Here is my hand for scale, and it is the biggest package I have ever received from Disney, including the many times I have ordered from the Disney store. So let's take a look at the side. Here is what it looks like. On both sides it says Tokyo Disney Resort Shopping. I am especially loving what they did with the word shopping. Look at that. Inside the O is the Disney Castle. That is definitely making the most of your words. And then you have Mickey's hand here holding out a wand that is making all the sparkles that goes across the word shopping. And look at the bottom. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of like pictographs that are representing famous landmarks in both Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. So like here, that's obviously the castle, and that's in Disneyland. Next to that is Toontown. Then you have Small World, and then there's Space Mountain, and then we're going over across to the Disney Sea area because that's the Arabian coast, and over here is Mediterranean Harbor with the Venetian gondolas, Mermaid Lagoon, and finally Mount Prometheus. That is definitely a good representation of Tokyo Disney Resort. So that is the long side. On the other side, you get another very unique design. And what you have here are fireworks and basically the stars of the Tokyo Disney parks, the Sensational Six. The fireworks are of hidden Mickey symbols. And then you have a very nice arc of magic. And here's a silhouette of the Sensational Six. There's Goofy, Pluto, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. And to the left and right of them, there is a carousel from Disneyland. And next to Daisy is the Aquasphere in Tokyo Disney Sea. Again, great representations of both parks. One last thing to show you. is the tape. Because it's no ordinary tape. It's magic tape. You can see the sparkle of Disney magic, and in between those loops are hidden Mickeys. That is so awesome! This is what I mean when I say Tokyo Disney level. It's all in the details. It really is all in the details. Be sure to look out for my next video where I will show you my magical haul from Tokyo Disney Resort. Shipping was so fast. Of course, Japan isn't such a big country, but I ordered on a Wednesday night and it came on a Friday night. So it took like a day and a half before it arrived. The items, when I opened it up, the items were packed very well. There was a lot of air cushions and bubble wrap, and you can tell that a lot of great care was taken in order so that the items weren't scratched up against each other or rubbed up against each other. And it was like Tetris style packing. They took advantage of every space, every nook and cranny, and they used it very well. Just looking at it without even having to pull out and check if the items were okay, it made me feel secure and confident that my items arrived safe and sound. You can also order edibles through the shopping app like chocolates and snacks, and in that scenario what they would actually do is they would pack it in cool bins, or they would pack it with ice so that the chocolate doesn't melt on its way to you. And it is especially useful in the hot and humid summer months of Japan. So Tokyo Disney takes great care in making sure that the items arrive safe and sound to you. To sum up my experience of shopping on the app, I am more than pleased with how they carried it out, and I would definitely use it again. I am not too sure whether or not they ship to hotels, so that is probably something that is worth asking guest services, and they might be able to provide their own shipping services in that case. I can only speak as a local because I live here. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed learning about that unique Japan experience. That's the kind of stuff I like sharing on my channel. If you enjoy those things, I especially love to share unique experiences about the Disney scene in Japan, so I hope you'll consider following me and hitting that bell. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. I'll see you in the next video.